Let's go through a couple of the games here and make our selection, shall we? The Texans travel to Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everywhere else, the Pittsburgh Steelers are -4 at home against the Texans. The Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line has caused more pressures than anybody else in the NFL right now. They've taken out a quarterback. They are a problem. They have a couple interceptions on that defensive line. I think there is a very solid chance we see Deshaun Watson running for his life. I think Deshaun Watson's very good. I like the way he plays the football. I like David Johnson, who's a good runner, and I think people have been able to pop a couple yards on the Steelers running the ball, aside from Saquon Barkley. But by the way, rest in peace to his ACL. But first game, Ben had more rushing yards than him, so that was not what I was referring to. And everybody be like, oh, they got it. But you get what I'm saying.
Tiki's fault.
I like the Steelers a lot at -4. I like them even more at -3.5, which FanDuel is offering, no other place is offering. I like them at +120 instead of -120. They are my lock of the week. Diggs is a diehard Steelers fan. You have to also like this, even though you don't bet on the Steelers games. You have to like the Steelers if you're looking at this from a non-biased view.
Correct. I mean, it's just great value if you're getting plus 120 at -3.5, where you can't get that anywhere else. And I'm hoping that Steelers week 3, they've been sloppy through the first 2 weeks, and they haven't played great competition. So maybe this is the week they put it all together.
And I think so. And honestly, Ben Roethlisberger said he's going to be shaking like a leaf in that first game back. He did early. He made a couple. Juju kind of got open there, kind of came into his own here in 2020. James Conner last week ran very well. In the first week, Benny Snell ran very well. So is this the week that the offense decides, okay, we're going to all put it together? I think it feels like the right time, and that's why it's my super boost of the week.
Yeah, and the wide receivers starting to come together. Deontay Johnson's dropped some balls, which he didn't do last year, so hopefully he cleans that up and stuff. So I think we're in a good spot.
And the defense people are talking about as being the best defense in the league, and people that know defenses are like, that Steelers defense is the one. Remember, they traded for Minka last year for a second-round draft pick. That has completely changed the entire first-round draft pick. It completely changed the course of that defense. That defense 1,000%. Became the defense last year, almost led them to a playoff berth with zero offensive anything.
A steel curtain 3.0.
Well said.
Well said.
Double yoy.
Well said by you.
Well said.
Well said.
I appreciate that.
What was the 2.0?
Troy and Ike.
Yeah, true. Hey, good for you, by the way. Well said.
He knows.
That was very impressive.
The other day in the office, he was wearing around a Pittsburgh hoodie and a Pittsburgh hat, and he had no idea that he actually was wearing those things.
What did you think? You thought it was like Patriots stuff?
No, PGH I thought was like professional golf and then something, and just because PGA.
I was Rick from Monessen parking cars down the mall.
I love Pittsburgh, just like I love Buffalo. I love those cities. They're great cities.
All right, let's get to the Patriots game. The Patriots are playing the Raiders. Everybody's talking about that. The New England Patriots are currently -5.5. And if you listen to anybody that is related to the Patriots defense, in particular the defensive line in recent memory, said that the Patriots cannot stop the damn run. Rob Ninkovich said that if he has to watch one more game where they can't stop the run, he's going to lose his mind. He actually said that he paces in the house while watching the defense play because they can't stop the run. He said he loves what Cam's doing. He actually, I think he kind of like, he almost just kind of, I love what Cam's doing, I love what the offense, but they're not going to be able to do anything if they don't stop the run. Let's assume that if Ninkovich is noticing that, and also Chris Long noticed that same exact thing, Bill Belichick is probably noticing that as well, and they're going to need to this week because this Raiders team, they operate under the fashion that they will be able to run on you. And if you want to come stop the run, cool, we got a tight end who's faster than your team. We'll open it up to him. Derek Carr looked a lot better. This feels like a game that the Raiders will cover, but this feels like a game that the Patriots will ultimately end up winning in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we knew the defense was going to be a problem with everyone opting out and all that, but I mean, you got to give them a little time. We've been talking about how these teams need to figure it out. We got so many young guys on the defensive side of the ball. I think we're going to have 3 rookies, 2 that are in their second year. So, I mean, there's still time to figure it out, but losing David Andrews, how big is it to lose your starting center who's making calls at the line, on a Friday before a game? It's tough.
He's on the field practicing today with a different cast, and sometimes you're able to move the center to guard and have your backup center in there, so you still have a little continuity communication-wise. But I feel like in the offensive line, hands is a big deal. Like, I feel like having hands is a big deal because it's a lot of hand-to-hand combat. So I don't know how fresh that broken thumb is or how much Marcane they'll be able to shoot into his thumb or whatever.
All of it.
That feels like a rather big deal, especially in an offense that is charging people a lot with Cam Newton running right up people's backs down the middle there for success. I'll be interested to see that. But just like Chris Long said, Cam Newton has been around chaos his entire career, basically. In comes this guy, out goes this guy, this happens, this happened. Cam Newton is the ultimate equalizer on the offense. offensive side of the ball, unless he's got to get 1 yard on a goal line against Seattle Seahawks. That's tough, man.
Right on the pylon.
Man,
right
I bet so hard on New England Patriots money line. I thought that was a lock whenever he got there because all anybody was saying, including us, was if you need 1 yard, Cam Newton will be able to pick it up. I actually said Carolina Panthers needed him a week before because they needed 1 yard on fourth down or whatever. But this feels like a game. Patriots get win, Raiders get cover. Go ahead and hit a double on that thing.
Ooh, double whammy.
Yeah, because 5.5 is a lot. I think 5.5 is a lot of points. And although it's in New England, which is a home field advantage, right? Because the guys don't have to travel. They don't have all the mass holes screaming at them, which is a different animal. And the weather shouldn't be that bad at this point.
It should be good.
So I think this is a great game. I like John Gruden facing off against Belichick. Obviously, the last time Gruden traveled up there, a dynasty started. Tuck rule game happened. Adam Vinatieri's legacy began just as much as Tom Brady and the Patriots did. I mean, that is a big omen. That's going to be a great game. They're going to battle. I like the way John Gruden puts a game plan together. I don't think he gets enough credit for that because of his personality. Could potentially camouflage that a little bit. But I do believe ultimately this is a Patriot win. Raiders cover. So I think I'm leaning there. That's not a massive bet. But I like the Raiders plus 5.5, and I like New England money line.
So what you're saying is Sunday will be the birth of another dynasty in New England, is what you're saying?
No dynasty has ended, right? It hasn't ended, has it?
Well, everyone's been saying what was the dynasty. There was a book, The Dynasty, it's all over. So I figured this was a new generation.
A potential author was trying to maybe, stick his hand into the cookie jar a little bit, too.
Maybe cash in.
Ask Bill Belichick if that dynasty's over yet. Ask Josh McDaniels, who's been a massive part of that, if it's over yet. How about that old ass up there, Ernie? Ask him if that dynasty's over yet. New pieces, same game in New England. New day, no. New toilet, same shit, bub.
Yeah,
and I think they are assuming that the Patriots dynasty is still something that we're going. This is a franchise, not just one player. What do you got there?
It seems like the sharps may agree with you with the lean here on the Raiders because it's only 40% of the bets are coming in on the Raiders, but 65% of the money is coming in on the Raiders. So there's big money on the Raiders.
So I'm starting to wonder.
Are they just listening?
Did that just update just now? Thought so. Tampa Bay Buccaneers head over to Denver. Denver has new quarterback Jeff Driscoll with backup Blake Bortles. Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week get a big win. Obviously, they looked a lot better than they did in the first week, which everybody kind of expected. It's going to take some time to kind of come together. Bruce Arians said about Gronk, like, hey, our tight ends don't make 50 catches a game, and we haven't been in the red zone that much. Maybe that'll come. Gronk came out and said, I'm a blocking tight end. The game plan's a game plan that could change week to week. I think they will obviously get him involved a little bit more because it has become a massive story, and they don't want any potential drama to happen, or they just completely block it out and say, last week, we won. You know why? We fed Shady early. Then we got Leonard Fournette going. We got Rojo going. Mike Evans and Tom Brady are starting to buy in together. I think that team is starting to come together. I think the Broncos are starting to go the opposite direction due to injuries, which is a shame. Jeff Driscoll looked a lot better than I thought he was going to look whenever he got in the game. I like Tampa Bay minus 5.5 here in Denver, but Tom Brady has had mixed reviews in Denver, right? I mean, there's big wins. There's some big losses out there. Will the altitude change the TB12 treatment? That is something maybe we have to account for. I like Tampa Bay minus 5.5, even though I love the Broncos organization. I like their fans. I just don't know. I think this is two teams on two different directions right now.
In this game, the 20% of the bets are on the Broncos, but 97% of the money's on the Broncos, so there's something potentially going on there.
Oh, no.
Is Brock the right
But, I mean,
That makes you feel even better. No, it doesn't. No, because 2097, that means all the big money people they're trying to move the line. They're trying to move the line.
They're probably trying to get it
to 4,
Yeah.
3.5,
Smart.
Something like that. Okay.
Then we middle it.
If you help me with that, maybe we wait off until Sunday to see what that Tampa Bay line is. But I like Tampa going over to Denver. Cowboys ride over to Seattle, says Zito in the sidebar. I like Seattle minus 5 here. I'm not hammering it, but I like it. The Dallas Cowboys could have, whenever you're shooting and you're kind of cold, and then somebody makes one, it kind of takes the top off the lid there.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of takes the top off the bucket. Did that happen at the end of the game last week? Whenever they kicked an onside kick and won a game they weren't supposed to win, in the Mike McCarthy era, they win a game that they're not supposed to win. Is that going to be the difference between this era and the last era of the Cowboys? Winning games you're supposed to win, or not supposed to win, as opposed to losing games you're supposed to win. that'll be very, very interesting to me. Seattle Seahawks are just so fucking good at football, and Russell Wilson's unbelievable. And the Cowboys are injured, I think, in the back end, which is where Russell Wilson dominates at. I'm surprised it's -5. I don't know what it will move to. I like the Seahawks -5.
Yeah, if Foxy wasn't playing free safety for him, I mean, it might be a good bet to take him +5. The Seahawks are going to blow him out.
And speaking of Foxy, the Lions travel to the desert with a team with no wins, and they are taking on the Arizona Cardinals, who are one of the hottest teams in football right now. Kyler Murray is one of the most comfortable quarterbacks at his position right now, not stressing or sweating anything, making people look silly, a la what Lamar Jackson was doing all last year and is continuing to do this season. We'll talk about Chiefs-Ravens on Monday on the other side. Can't wait for that matchup. I think everybody and their mom here likes the Arizona Cardinals -5.5. I would assume the money is leaning that way, and the bets are leaning that way.
Yeah, almost 80% of the bets and 90% of the money.
So that is just an entire sweep of the smart people and the dumb people that gamble, saying this one is pretty obvious. Last year, these two teams tied. These two teams have gone very different directions since then.
Yeah, we're not surprised here, guys. The Lions are the Lions this year. If Matt Patricia doesn't win this game and doesn't beat the Saints the week after, I do believe during that bye week he will be gone.
No,
I love Matt Patricia. I love him. But I've seen tweets from Detroit people. They are not happy.
All right. And the Packers are traveling down to an empty Superdome, which is a little bit different because New Orleans' home field advantage is a big, big deal. What's up, Dick?
725 people they're going to try to get in there this week.
Okay, and they will be loud because 725 Cajuns down there in the bayou, if they got that Whistler, it could be a real problem. That is a loud house. I don't know, 725 people, it might sound like just spattering of doctors on a sideline. The Green Bay Packers +3. Going down to New Orleans -3.
Yep.
After a week of everybody wondering if Drew Brees was dead or not, does Drew Brees still be able to throw the football? How will they respond? Michael Thomas still out, I do believe. I don't know if there's been an official ruling, but Ian Rappaport told us that he thinks he'll be out for another couple weeks at least. 2 to 4. This will be the 2 of the 2 to 4 for him. Green Bay Packers +3, playing better football than they've ever played. I think you take Green Bay Packers +3 and money line here down in New Orleans, and I think you feel very, very good about it. Now, the only issue is the Green Bay Packers defense going to be able to stop Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara and that offense? Because the Green Bay Packers defense has not been, let's say, tip-top if we're just judging games from the last 3 games that they've played. NFC Championship first week, second week, they've not been like, hey, we are going to stop everything from happening. But Aaron Rodgers and that offense have been able to make up forever, and they've been able to stop enough to get a win. I just feel like the Packers get this win. This is upset of the week for me. +138, Green Bay Packers get the money line victory.
Yeah, it's tough not liking both those, but like you said, I am kind of worried that everyone's been shitting on Breeze all week and saying that he sucks and he's done. So, like this would be the classic game where he would respond. But Zadarius Smith did circle the Saints week 3, so I think he is licking his chops to be able to take Breeze's head off. Really looking forward to that. I mean, their offense has been great. It'll be interesting because LaFleur did say today that Devontae Adams probably isn't going to play, so we'll see what happens there. But, I mean, Raji's,
He's in a great headspace.
He's on fire.
Raji's Raji.
He's playing great football.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't love that all the tabloids took his quotes out of context and automatically assumed
Well,
something
what
for
are you
him.
going to do? I mean, that's what they do.
But that's what Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
his entire career, that is what happened. Everything
Exactly.
he says gets taken however the hell they want it, and they just run with it. Instead of saying, you know what, maybe Aaron Rodgers decided to worry about Aaron Rodgers for the first time and kind of take care of everything. And the Packers hired a psychologist to come onto the team, and maybe that's what, maybe he's just happy to be in his headspace. All of the tabloids are like, yeah, no, that's not it. This is what he just said. It's like, hey, first of all, thanks for the push, we appreciate the push and quoting the show and everything like that. But can we maybe just ask the guy what he meant instead of just automatically assuming something?
Shame on
Well, and that's the Rodgers effect, and that's why, I, for one, appreciate you having him on and people seeing the real side of him. Because, I mean, it's just like the Breeze thing. If the Packers start 1-1 or 0-2 and Rodgers looked like Breeze did, then everyone would have ripped him apart. But, because it's Breeze, it's, let's give Drew a break. He's okay. He's the best ever. Like, that shit would never happen to Rodgers. So, I appreciate you having him on and letting people see, like, oh, this guy isn't just like a huge asshole like everyone thinks.
Jesus.
Wow.
It's real.
It is real. No one's talking about, let's give Drew a break, Hey, Drew's okay. He's still the best ever. Fuck Drew Brees.
Oh, my God. What is that hate in your heart on this Feel Good Friday as we wrap up hour 3 here?
I've been holding that in all
you
week.
have.
I've wanted to ask Rodgers that because it is true. If the Packers would have started out like the Saints would, then people would be reacting much differently towards Rodgers than they have been towards Brees.
Is this because he elbowed you?
Well, yeah. And that's a huge part of it.
For those that don't know, last Super Bowl, Drew Brees joined us. Was very nice. He brought a smoothie. Brought me a smoothie.
Nice. King, yeah.
Didn't bring everybody else.
No,
a
he
smoothie.
didn't. No.
And
Aaron Donald brought everyone pizza.
on his way to say hello to Cuban Zeke, because Cuban Zeke was a crowd pleaser down there, and he was on a different stage than us. He did take his elbow and he put it in the back of Ty's head to balance himself to shake Zeke's hand, and then never said hello to Ty and just walked.
No, yeah, gave me a Charlie horse in between my shoulder blades, and I was laughing at all his canned jokes.
Come on, stop.
Yeah, no.
I don't even think Drew Brees knew that happened. And Drew came on the show, so I like Drew.
Well, he probably doesn't.
You did have a run-in with him.
Yeah, I did.
He can't even feel that arm anymore.